Hi friends, welcome to Easy and Homestyle Cooking. I'm Mrs. Ragini. Today I'm going to share a Kerala recipe, and this one of my colleague or our employee has shared with me. She bought it and she shared the simple recipe and I liked it so much. Then I thought of sharing this simple recipe with all of you so that you all guys can try it and enjoy it. So let's start how to make this simple Vattayappam. Vattayappam is nothing but, Vattaya means a plate. So they steam the appam in the plate, so that's called as Vattayappam. So let's learn how to make this Vattayappam. Very simple. We need some coconut. You all know Kerala, they have lot of coconuts and they love to use coconuts. So we are going to use some grated coconut, freshly grated coconut, and some rice. So to make the dish, the main thing is the rice. You can use the regular rice or the idli rice or any kind of rice. You can take 1 cup of rice and soak it for at least 4 hours or 5 hours in the water, then strain off the water and put it in a blender and add some water and make it into a smooth batter like this. How we make our dosa batter? The same way you need to make the batter into nice smooth texture but not thin. Dosa batter usually I make it slightly thick, later on I add the water, so it should be like this, see, and it's nice and fine paste. So add water and grind the rice, and some rice what you can do is you can coarsely grind the rice. Just take around 1 or 2 tablespoons of rice and you can coarsely grind the rice. If you want, you can add water and you can coarsely grind it also, but I just grinded it into a powder like this. This is also the soaked rice itself, dear friends, and this what we are going to do is we are going to add some water and we are going to dilute this. Instead of diluting like this, you can anyway add the water and grind it. And now mix this, and we need to cook this mixture. Why do we cook this mixture? Because if you just steam this rice, it will be like an idli. If you cook the rice and then add it to your batter, then it will be appam. Appam usually you all know they add cooked rice. You can use cooked rice or regular rice, or otherwise you can cook it like how I am showing it to you. Then you can mix it to that, and you need to ferment this, dear friends. We need to add some yeast and we are going to ferment this. So let's start cooking now this coarse rice. So here I have the jaggery. What I am doing is I am taken some jaggery. This is a sweet Vattayappam. So I have taken some jaggery, added some water. I am melting the jaggery. We don't want any consistency, just I am melting the jaggery so that later on I can add the jaggery into the batter. So this is ready. I am going to keep this aside, and now in a pan add some water and we need to cook this. So here is the diluted coarse rice. We are going to add it into this and we are just going to cook this for 2 minutes till this becomes slightly soft. Now we are going to add this mixture. You can add around 2 tablespoons of this mixture, dear friends, and keep mixing this. This will become like a lump. It should be slightly cooked, and let's start mixing this, and this will become into a nice thick paste. Then we are going to add this paste into our grinded batter. So friends, here you can see our rice is getting cooked and this is becoming thick. It should be like this. You need to add little bit extra water because it's nice and coarse. You can see slightly coarse. This is the regular rice. I have taken 1 or 2 tablespoons of soaked regular rice and I put it in a blender and made it into slightly coarse like this. And you can see this is getting cooked and this is getting thick also. So friends, the rice is done. If you want to skip this process, you can skip it. You can use the regular rice, which is boiled rice, and you can grind it along with the soaked rice. You can do it either way. You can either cook it like this, or otherwise you can use the regular rice, around 1 or 2 tablespoons of regular rice, and when you grind the rice, at that time you can add that and grind it. So today I am making this way, and now we are going to add this cooked rice into this mixture, and we need to mix it perfectly. Mix this can see this has become nice and thick like our idli batter. And now we are going to add pinch of salt, mix it perfectly, and we are going to add around half a teaspoon of yeast. So, here is the yeast, we are going to add the yeast. For appam also they use yeast, you can add the yeast and mix it, and we need to rest this for at least 4 hours or overnight is also fine, so that it will get ferment very nicely. And once this is fermented, then we are going to add the jaggery syrup and some coconut, freshly grated coconut, and the cardamom powder, and then we are going to mix it once more and steam this Vattayappam. So friends, here you can see our Vattayappam batter is nicely fermented. You can see it's formed a nice bubbles, there are lot of bubbles in it, and this is nothing but it's fermented. Now after fermentation we are going to add freshly grated coconut. This all depends on how much you need. You can just add around half a cup or 1 cup of freshly grated coconut, and this is a sweet, so we are going to add some jaggery. If you want you can add some sugar also, but today I am using jaggery, and some flavoring ingredient, that is cardamom powder for nice flavor. Mix it. If you see, the consistency should be like this, it should not be too thick not too thin. And now we are going to put this jaggery syrup. I have not cooked the jaggery syrup too much. I just melted the jaggery syrup by adding very little of water, and this is the jaggery water. As per sweetness you can add the jaggery and mix this. And now here I have a baking tray. You can take any type of plate or baking tray and grease the baking tray with ghee or oil, and pour this mixture into the tray, and we are going to steam this for 15 to 20 minutes till you see it is formed into a nice cake. This is nothing but a simple steamed rice cake. Add it, and now this goes into the steamer. Here I have the steamer which I kept it ready, and into this very slowly, and cover this with a lid, and we are going to wait for just 20 minutes. So here after 15 to 20 minutes, in between you can just remove the lid and you can just take a toothpick, and how we check whether our cake is done or not, just try to poke it. It should come nice and clean. So it is slightly another 2 minutes it should be done, then I can switch off the flame, and once we switch off the flame we are going to rest this for at least 5 minutes, and then we are going to remove this and we are going to cut them into nice pieces. So here is our Vattayappam. Vattayappam, I already told what is the meaning of Vattayappam. Vattaya means plate, appam means our regular appam. Appam also there are various ways we can make. This is a sweeter version of appam, just like the cake. And now you can see I rested this for some time, and once this is totally cool or slightly warm, then you try to demold this, dear friends. And this I am going to put it on a plate, and you can see this is come up so easily because we greased it perfectly. And now I am going to transfer this back onto the regular position, and here if you see I put some cashew nuts on top. Once you switch off the flame, before removing it, just put some cashew nuts on top. This will stick little bit, or otherwise if you want you can add some cashew nuts, raisins, some almonds in the batter itself and you can pour it, but this way I love it. And now let's cut this. Very soft and spongy Indian cake. It won't be too sweet, it will be slightly sweet, and an excellent fluffy texture, layers, and you can see this how nice and soft. Today I had to go somewhere, so I want to finish off this Vattayappam closing, so I just came out and I closed this dish, and you can see I am very casual, and the dish is amazing. Coconut flavor, very light sweetness. I am loving this like anything. My colleague, she shared with me, and I thought I should share this simple recipe with all of you. If you want you can rest this and eat it, or slightly warm if you enjoy, This will taste amazing. Dear friends, you need to try it out. I hope you will try and you will, give us a feedback. If you like it, make it, share it, and also feed your family fresh food. See you in another session with some more recipes.